Prabhudas Leeladhar is also with us to talk about a lot of stocks and, of course, the way the market is moving. Ajay, hi, morning. Before I ask you about the markets, there's some news on Glenmark Pharma where the company has announced a discovery of a molecule GBR 1302. So basically, they're entering the oncology segment. This huge commercial potential for them. I know you track the stock. What's your view on Glenmark now?
No, I think, I haven't had an opportunity to look at the news and study it in detail. So it would not be proper on my part to comment.
Okay. Well, another issue that keeps worrying us, what happened yesterday in the last part of the trading? Post 1:30, we saw a rush of buying, and especially quality mid-caps, Ashok Leyland, Apollo Hospitals, Manappuram, TTK Prestige. So many of them saw a rush of buying. What is the sense you are getting in this market? Was this serious FII buying, DII buying, HNI? What's the rush in the market?
I think over the last 5 or 6 sessions, one clearly is seeing the cooling off of the global crude oil prices, despite, I think, 2 or 3 geopolitical theaters where there is a conflict being taken very positively by both domestic institutional investors and foreign institutional investors. I think just a few statistics, I think a $10 drop in crude oil prices leads to an improvement in under-recoveries, by a drop in under-recoveries by around 33,600 crores as per our calculations. And we already have seen sort of, the Indian basket coming off by around $3 to $4 over the last few weeks. And the under-recoveries, I think, and plus sort of, an appreciating rupee also could act as a positive for the markets in terms of, the under-recoveries coming off, having its cascading effect on the fiscal deficit. And Lata, this is the first year, I think, since FY12 that the under-recoveries have been projected to be below 1 lakh crores at 91,000 crores, and 20,000 crores of savings would accrue to in this number if the crude prices were to remain at the current levels on an ongoing basis. So I think you're talking of a major structural positive if the crude prices were to remain subdued, and that is being taken very positively by global investors, and that's why we are seeing sort of a further rush of money which was waiting on the sidelines pouring into the Indian markets. I think in addition to that, the other 2 headwinds that we had discussed last time when I was there, the sowing data as well as the rainfall deficiency, both have sort of also turned out very positive for the Indian markets, with the overall sowing now being almost flat on the 17th August numbers that I have in terms of area under acreage of 883.7 lakh hectares. And in fact, in rice, it is almost flat now at around, it's more than last year, 307 lakh hectares vis-a-vis 290 lakh hectares. In pulses, it is slightly lower at 85 lakh hectares vis-a-vis 97 lakh hectares. And in oil seeds, it is at 160.8, which is more than what it was last year at 160.3 lakh hectares. Very positive again from the market perspective. And lastly, I think in case of out of 36 subdivisions, 18 today are normal, 15 are deficient, and 2 are scanty. But let's not forget that Punjab, Haryana, right, Western UP, where the rains have been slightly lower, are fully irrigated. Okay. So I think there are 3 multiple positives which is fueling a lot of money into Indian markets.
Okay, just with respect to individual stocks then, Ajay, in a scenario of the reducing subsidy burden, how much could the earnings of a company, say, like ONGC rise in the due course of time?
See, I think in ONGC's case, we are more positive on the OMCs because they are the direct beneficiaries. In case of ONGC, we yet have to wait on 2 major issues. I think what is the government's response insofar as the gas pricing is concerned, and secondly, the subsidy sharing mechanism, because that has been sort of varying over the years. Last year we had seen 61% being borne by the government and the rest being asked to be borne by the upstream companies. Now, what is the stance that the government takes? It needs to spell out in clear terms, and if they spell it out in clear terms, the market could easily re-rate some of these upstream oil companies. So we are waiting for some sort of policy decision from the government on this issue. But overall, I think, we would be more positive on the OMCs to start with.
Fair point, actually, Ajay. I think the market is also working on the same positive tailwinds that you spoke about, crude as well as probably better than expected harvest. The Nifty is up in the pre-marketing rates. I think it's settling there at about a 0.25% gain, which is better than what the SGX Nifty and the other Asian indices were indicating in terms of opening rates. So 0.25% gain is what we may see in the Sensex and the Nifty. Sensex 26,500 is where it is settling down. And some of the stocks that ran up yesterday are continuing to do very well. TTK Prestige is opening with 1%, of course pre-market rates, but still tall gain over there. Bharti is 1% higher. HDFC is almost 1% higher. IndusInd Bank 0.7. That's the nature of the stocks that are doing well today. But BHEL is seeing profit taking. It saw 3 or 4 good days of run, now profit taking. Ajay, where do you stand in the capital goods space at all? BHEL saw a few good days. Time to sell? Would you persist with Larsen in the capital goods space, Voltas, Crompton, all of them?
Yeah, so I think Lata, I would look at Larsen very closely because it is after scaling strong highs. I think the stock has seen some sort of a correction, and I believe that from the medium-term perspective, it offers an excellent opportunity for re-entry. We are expecting a target price of 18.13 in the medium term in Larsen. An expectation is that a revenue growth of around 12% this financial year and 15% in next financial year penciling in. An earnings growth of around 18.4% in FY16 is what we are penciling in. And the stock, I think, is available at around 23 times 1 year forward earnings. In addition to Larsen, the other stock which we had discussed last time, I recollect, was Cummins. A very strong guidance. Company has given 30% growth in exports for the current year, around 5% growth in volumes in the domestic, but at the same time holding up a promise of a strong recovery coming in the fag end of the current financial year and continuing in next financial year from various process industries. So there I'm expecting a target price of 745 in the medium term, which is based on 11% growth in earnings this year, revenues, 17% next financial year. And on the earnings front, around 12% this financial year, followed by 21% in next financial year. Very strong ROEs of around 28% expected this financial year. And the stock is trading at 23 times. Compton is again another stock where we are very positive in capital goods space. So I think these three stocks in capital goods space, one should look at from the medium term perspective.
So apart from capital goods, what are the other mid caps that you guys are recommending now, Ajay?
Yeah, I think the agro pack is in view of very encouraging sowing numbers and the monsoon deficiency being very low. There is a pack of 3 that I'm looking at in agrochemical space. I think UPL, we are expecting a target price of around 400 rupees in UPL in the medium term, based on around 12% CAGR in revenues for FY 15-16. Around 15% growth in earnings this year, followed by 18% in next financial year, and trending ROEs. ROE is going up from 21 to around 22% in next financial year, and the stock is trading at 9.8 times. The other thing is, other 2 companies I'm looking at, one of them was discussed with the previous guest, is Tata Chemicals. I would agree with him. There our target price is 430 rupees in the medium term, and PI Industries, where our target price is around 460. And in case of PI, very strong 22% growth in revenue financial year on the back of 20% this financial year, and earnings growth CAGR of 31% over this year and next year. And the stock is trading at around 18.9 times FY16 earnings. So it
Yeah, sorry. No, Ajay, I just wanted to ask you, yesterday we saw a decent rally towards end of day in some of the mid-cap stocks, Apollo Hospitals, Ashok Leyland, TTK Prestige, the 2 gold stocks, Manappuram and Muthoot. Any of those stocks appeal to you even now?
I think, you missed out on some of the mid-cap cement stocks,
yes,
which also rallied a lot. And I think we had a couple of them in our top picks.
Okay.
Although I must say that I think the rally has been too sharp in too shorter time in almost all the names that you mentioned. And I would advise a bit of a caution for investors in some of the names where sort of, it does appear that some sort of a froth is building up. So one has to be very cautiously trading in some of the mid-cap names. Having said that, I think, the 2 stocks where we are positive in mid-cap cement space is Ramco Cements and JK Lakshmi, where our target price is around 320 for JK Lakshmi from 294 currently. And in case of Ramco Cement, we have a target price of around 340 from around 310 that we have currently. Again, sort of, expectation is that in case of Ramco, the southern market sort of, where the capacity utilization levels are very low. With the formation of two new states, I think a lot of activity in infrastructure build-up that was pending will see a fillip. And sort of, the stocks were available when we recommended them at steep discount, the frontline stocks. Same is the case also with JK Cement, Lakshmi Cement rather, where we are expecting a sharp build-up in capacity over the next 2 years. But as I said, I think, some of the mid-cap names already have seen a very sharp build-up and one needs to tread cautiously there.
All right, Ajay, we leave it at that. Thanks for giving us all those ideas. Let's go back to our research team. The market, by the way, has settled with a gain of 0.2%, and it's banks and oil and gas stocks that are doing well. Anuj, what were you watching?
So, 2 or 3 stocks, Sonia. Of course, we'll be watching out for oil marketing companies because, again, crude continues its downward spiral, and you've seen big gains in stocks like BPCL and HPCL. BPCL, in fact, is now approaching 100% gain year to date, and even HPCL is almost closely following it. So these will be 2 stocks to watch out for. Apart from that, I was watching out for a couple of other stocks. One was GMR Infra that saw quite a bit of long build up. It's down in pre-opening, so it will be interesting to see how